You want to know how to fix all Performance Lab plugin errors within WordPress? Now I'm going to teach you a series of simple, no-nonsense steps to fix any error you may be experiencing within your WordPress website. I will show you some steps that will guide you throughout the correction process, without you having to waste your time looking for other solutions. Everything in a more didactic and complete way, without the need for any type of knowledge. Here's a very important step that you cannot neglect. Use good website hosting. 90% of the problems we encounter on WordPress sites are always related to the hosting company. In some cases, the PHP version is out of date. In other cases, PHP does not have an extension allowed or features are missing. Therefore, we recommend Hostinger servers so that you can use PHP in your hosting company, regardless of which country in the world you are in. They have multi-language support, and they serve the entire world. They have a specific plan for WordPress with management, and it is one of the best plans for WordPress. We tested several sites within these plans. From the initial plan, you can host from 100 websites, and they are compatible with absolutely everyone. All the plugins we have tested to date, we have not found any plugin that does not work within the Hostinger environment. They also have a system within the panel to check viruses within WordPress installations, make updates within the panel, and check plugin compatibility, which will help you resolve most problems. There's a link in the description, and if you're purchasing an annual plan or longer, use our link to support our channel. One very important thing, as Rotchinger has a money-back policy if you don't like the product, you can simply do the following. By hosting from Rotchinger, install a WordPress site. Install all the themes and plugins you have on your current website. Check if it will work. If it works, you know the problem is with your website hosting and it's time for you to migrate. All you have to do is bring your website to Hostinger. Even Hostinger does the migration for you free of charge. All you have to do is join one of their plans. I recommend Cloud Startup for sites that need more performance, and call the support team, and they will help you with the migration process. Before making any changes, you must back up your environment. It is very important to have a backup of your website. Even if it has a problem, make a backup of the website to its current state. You can ask your hosting company's support team, or you can hire Hostinger, link in the description, and you can have their automatic backup. Backing up on the Hostinger panel is very simple to do. I'm going to teach here, and almost every hosting company is the same. Within your hosting company's dashboard, you go to Files, and you will have the Backups option. Coming here to the Backups option, I can click on Create New Backup. I come to Select. It warns me that it will overwrite the previous backup. Continue, and it starts creating my backup. I have to wait until this backup is complete, so I can start making the changes that will fix the problems with the plugins and themes within my website. Okay, backup completed. Now you can go to your website, make the necessary changes. If you have a problem, it's very simple to restore the backup. You can come here to restore the website. Select the date of the backup you made. Click on Restore, and it carries out the entire process. This said hosting. If you are using another hosting company, just contact technical support, and they will help you resolve the issue and perform a restoration if necessary. This is the first step to solving problems. In fact, if you have a problem and don't have any new information on the site, you can try restoring old backups to see if it fixes the problem you're getting. A very simple step that can solve many problems is to disable the CDN network if you use it on your WordPress. Some plugins and themes may have problems with the content that is available via CDN. Networks such as Cloudflare, CDN Max, among others, can be temporarily or permanently disabled to resolve issues with your WordPress site. So in our example, I'm going to go to Cloudflare and disable the CDN network. I'll click Edit on my DNS entry and disable the proxy. By clicking Save, I disable the CDN service, and in about 30 to 40 minutes, I can try again to access my website. Increasing the memory of WordPress itself is also a step that solves many of the problems. Increase the memory available for WordPress. The first thing you have to do is check with your hosting company what the memory limit is available on your server. The one we are using is a plan specifically for WordPress. We have 3 gigabytes of memory. I allocated 1 gigabyte for PHP, and now I will also increase the memory available for WordPress. So I come here to Files, File Manager. If you host your website elsewhere, you can access the File Manager through your hosting company's dashboard. If you want to change your hosting company, I recommend that you click on the link in the description to get a discount on annual or larger plans within hosting. Access the File Manager. Go to Public HTML. WP includes. Look for the file called Default Constants. Let's look for the file. We find it here. Here is the default constants.php file. Let's double click on the file. Let's scroll in here where WordPress sets the memory limits. We will put this memory limit as 1024. Again, change it below also to 1024, and below here we have WordPress multi-sites. We are not using this structure. But if we were, we could also change it to 1024. Let's save, and that's it. From this moment, WordPress will be able to use more of the system's available RAM, which solves many of the problems with plugins that require greater use of RAM memory. Changing the PHP version can be one of the important steps in fixing a problem on your WordPress website. Regardless of whether the problem is with a theme or a plugin, the PHP version must be compatible with it. Let's go. Accessing the dashboard of my hosting system, I can go to Advanced, the PHP configuration, and choose the version of PHP I want to use. Each hosting company has a different panel, but they all have the option to change PHP versions. Currently, PHP 7.4 is the most compatible with all WordPress themes and plugins. PHP 8.0 performs well within WordPress, but it still has some incompatibilities with some themes and plugins that the developers haven't updated yet. So, we recommend that you switch to PHP version 7.4. Click Update so that it applies the change. Wait about 3 minutes and try again to access your website, remembering to clear the cache every time you make a change. Another way to fix errors is to deactivate or change the theme that WordPress is currently using. Let's go. If you have access to the panel, you will do it in a very simple way. Appearance, Themes. Select a different theme and click Activate. Thus, the theme will be activated, and this will change the entire interface of the website. By doing this, you can access your website and check if it works again. Okay. If you don't have access to the WordPress panel, you can also do this through the doubles bank. Let's go step by step. The first thing you have to do is open your hosting file manager so we can check what other themes you have installed. Go to publica.html, go to the WP content folder, go to the themes folder, and inside the folder you will see all the themes. These themes are the default WordPress themes. Okay. Now let's go to your hosting panel and locate your database. Okay. PHPMyAdmin. Let's go into PHPMyAdmin to be able to modify your database. We are going to look for a WordPress table that is responsible for changing the default WordPress theme. Let's go here to our database. We have the options table, and we're going to look here for the themes table. Let's switch here to page 2. No. And here we find the template and style sheets. Here are the two tables you need to change your WordPress theme. So let's go. Let's assume I don't want to use this theme because this theme is causing a problem on my website. I can come here and get the name of another theme, clicking here on rename. Copy the theme name, cancel it. Come here, double-click, and change the theme name. Down here, again, changing the name of the theme. I click off the screen, and that's it. The two lines were swapped and changed. When I go back to my WordPress, I will notice that the theme that is active now is again this theme here. So, by doing this, I changed the active theme, and if the active theme was generating any type of error within my WordPress, I just correct it. Once this is done, I either change the theme of my website or I update the theme that was causing the problem. One way to fix problems is also by changing the permissions of the folders where your plugin was installed. In many cases, a person unzips a zip file directly into the WordPress folder where the plugin is located, and this changes the permissions and folder owner, causing critical errors within WordPress. Let's go back to our hosting company's dashboard. I came to Files, File Manager, access our File Manager, our File Manager, go to Public HTML, access WP Content, go to the Plugins folder, and here we find all the plugins installed within WordPress. Note that they have specific folder permissions. This is the folder permission pattern within the web. If your directory is not with these permissions, you can right-click, you can come to Permissions, and change the permissions. Note that the permission is 755. If I check any box, I change the permissions. The default is 755. Check the recursive, directories, and files option and click Update. Important: if you want to keep the original state of the folder, before making the change, you can right-click, come to Archive, select the file format, and it will create a backup for you with the original state. Here the permission is different, but within this zip file, the permissions remain the same as they are on your screen. In some cases, simply clearing the cache solves problems within WordPress. So what are we going to do? By clicking here next to the refresh button, we go to Site Settings, go to Delete Data, delete the data, reset the permissions, and reload the page. But instead of clicking the reload button, I'm going to press it on the keyboard, Control and the F5 key, so that I can do a reload without cache. Once this is done, the page will be reloaded without using the cache, and if I have any problems caused by the cache, it will be resolved. Time is money. If you need a team to solve problems with your applications, your infrastructure, and your web application, contact us. The link in the description has our calendar open to the public with hours and days that you can select. Check out and receive our exclusive service from a bunch of technology mad people for a client who needs it. Your time is worth a lot to us. If you don't want to, that's okay. Just watch the video until the end, and I'm sure you'll be able to solve your problem. If you want to make money solving WordPress problems, there's a link in the description that will take you to the best training there is. I want you to think about the following. What do you think is most likely? That someone pays you $1,000 for a website that they don't even know if they need? Or that someone who already has a website working and has a problem pays you $1,000 to solve it? Solve problems with tools that already exist. It is a huge and little explored market. You have the opportunity to work on the urgency, the need of businesses that are already active. Click on the link in the description, and I'm sure you'll like it. Well, if none of the previous steps in this video were able to solve your problem, here I will teach you how to contact Performance Lab support. Let's go. First, we're going to go here to the WordPress.org website. If you have not created your account, you can create an account here at WordPress.org with the simple login system. With the simple system, you will log into your account. You will access this link, Performance Lab page, which I will leave there in the first pinned comment so you can access it. You will enter their page here. We will click on the support part. Entering the support part, we will create a topic. When creating the topic, the first thing it will ask you is to add a title to this topic. In this title, you add a title that refers to the error you are receiving. You also need to put the link to your website. I'll put the link here so we can see what's happening in the error, and preferably, I'll leave here a little golden tip that we developed here in our method for when contact support for an application or plugin, whatever it may be. A simpler way is to describe what you have in your environment, what you have installed in it. What are the specifications of everything you is using within it? And then you explain what you were trying to do and what error you are getting. I'm going to explain to you here how it works. But before anything else, I'm going to make a very important point here that anything you send to support for any type of application, you always need to write it in English. Because the support many times, it will always be in English, because it is the world language and is the main language used on the web. So, whenever you write something to contact any type of support, write that message in English. Well, firstly, what I'm going to tell you to put here is the hosting company. In my case, I'm going to put Hostinger here. Put the version of PHP that you are using on your website. Put the version of WordPress that you are using it on your website. Put the version of the plugin you are using, which in this case is PHP Performance Lab. Put the other plugins you have installed on your website. This is a very important thing, because these plugins, even if they have nothing to do with the plugin that is returning this error, it can end up causing some kind of interference and cause the error you are getting, even if it doesn't seem like they have any kind of connection. Another important thing is if you have some type of caching plugin on your website, you should put here what the plugin is and describe whether it is active or not on your website, because this can also cause some problems. For the final part, you need to describe what you're trying to do and how it should work. Describe this in a simple way, but be sure you need to describe what you want to make clear the details of the things you are trying to do. And now we are going to write what is happening. What is generating this error? What is returning this error to us? You can also write a very simple message here. Everything I'm using here, these messages. The other things I left here were just some example texts. You don't need to use anything I'm putting here. I just recommend really that you use this structure that I will leave in the comment pinned for you, so you can have much faster, much more efficient communication with the support of the application, which means they have a greater chance of responding to you and resolving your problem much more quickly. Finally, we're going to add some tags for the topic here, just so they can find their way around more easily. Below, WordPress.org gives you some options that you can add, but only if this is really relevant. If it really makes sense with what you wrote within your topic. Otherwise, you don't need to write. You don't need to select any of these options. But if I recommend that you select here so they can, notify you when you, via your email. If your topic is answered, you can submit. Let this message go straight to support and just wait, and they will answer you. And that's it. This video ends here. Thanks. Set it.